So, hi everyone, I'm Sebastián Vilaza. I'm a master's student at Pontificia Universidad Católica de Chile, and I'm going to present my master's thesis project, which is called Forcing the Helium Flash to Synthesize Lithium and Regira. So, as we saw in the introduction and in previous presentations, there are many hypotheses trying to explain the lithium-rich problem. We have external mechanisms like engulfments, evolutions due to binary interactions, and we have internal mechanisms like production of lithium via the Cameron-Fuller mechanism, which requires some extra mixing, like rotational induced mixing, thermohaline, and internal gravity waves. And one other hypothesis that has been gaining popularity is that somehow the lithium, the helium flash produces lithium. This is mainly so earlier um, from observational evidence pointing towards the fact that most lithium-rich stars belong to the red clump. So that means that the lithium enhancement has to have happened before the red clump. And the second evidence pointing towards the helium flash is that most low mass stars all lithium-rich stars, or most lithium-rich stars, are low mass stars. So as we saw in this plot, above this line, which is the lithium-rich line, we see that most of them are low mass stars, so below 2 solar masses. And this points to the fact that the helium flash is responsible because the main difference between these low mass and high mass stars is that the low mass stars undergo the helium flash. Again, this is not direct evidence. This is in ruling out other possible explanations. Again, because we have a small samples of stars, but it is evidence pointing towards the helium flash, and we wanted to explore that hypothesis. So then we look at other examples, trying to link the helium flash or helium to lithium production, and we looked at similar events that have shown in the literature to produce lithium. And the thing here is that they also have shown to produce a process. So again, this is a way for us to test this mechanism, because if this is the mechanism occurring inside stars, we should expect also to find a process enhancement. So again, what are these other events? From 1D models, we have proton ingestion episodes, which I'm going to explain in the next slide, which has been observed in helium flash and in thermal pulses, but in bare metal pulse stars, which are metallicities lower than the metallicities of normal lithium-rich stars. And this ingestion, basically what it means, as you see in the schematic diagram, we have the main flash. So this is the convectance region. And as the flash evolves, it can reach the hydrogen-rich layers. So this can bring down some protons into the helium burning region. And when that happens, if enough protons are being brought down, you can have a secondary hydrogen flash. And this flash has a distinct nucleosynthetic signature, mainly as we want here is a production of lithium and also neutron capture elements. And after that ingestion, this convective region can connect with the convective envelope and reach up those products. So we have also some other observational models from other authors. You have here's the ingestion occurring, and you see the lithium abundance jumps up. And here is the same, so the evolution of a model of a proton ingestion before and after the ingestion, and you see the S-process abundances increase with time. So here are two main points I want you to notice. First, lithium can be produced during these ingestions. And the second fact, which is important also, is that if we have lithium production here, we're also linking it to neutron capture element production. So again, if this is the mechanism that explains lithium production, we would expect that we also have this process enhanced lithium-rich stars. Now, on the other hand, other events that we've seen that produce lithium in this process are very late processes, like Saccharide up, which also has been modeled as a proton ingestion event, but in another evolutionary stage, so in a post-AGV star. And you see here from observation, hopefully from the back you see the numbers, but not believe me. You see that they took observations ranging from several months and found that the lithium increased. And they also found that the S-process abundance also increased. So again, this shows that this type of mechanism, so protein ingestions can produce lithium, which is what we're interested, but as a byproduct, they also show increase in process abundances. So again, what's the hypothesis I'm proposing here is that if this mechanism also occur at higher metallicities in lithium stars, in giant stars, they could help us explain the lithium rich problem. And again, as I mentioned before, this has only been observed in very metal pulse stars, but those are only 1D models. So obviously these type of mechanisms are very complex. So we also look at, and we're motivated mainly by 3D hydrosimulations, where they show that, if you want a reference about those, you can see this series of papers by MOCAC. They show that the convection can quickly reach the hydrogen-rich layers, the hydrogen-rich layers, and penetrate and bring down protons even at high metallicity. So we have some evidence that motivates us to test this hypothesis. So basically, what we do is use this proton ingestion, but at higher metallicities, and understand what is the nucleosynthesis that occurs. So here are some very preliminary results. So take them with a grain of salt. But we have here a Kimenham diagram, the helium flash. So this is the main flash, and this is the convective envelope. And before the flash, nothing happens. We have only the hydrogen burning shell, pretty standard. But when the ingestion begins, you see that the hydrogen abundance increases in the inner regions, meaning that we have broken protons. And alongside, we see that the beryllium and lithium abundance also increase, showing that there's lithium production. And when it evolves even further, we see that we have an even larger abundance. So we show that here we are producing lithium, which is what we want. The problem here is that if you notice here, after the flash, we don't connect this region with the convective envelope, so we aren't breaking up those products. So this is still work to be done, and if you have any ideas, talk to me. I will happily hear them out. But yeah, but the thing is that we are showing lithium production, so this mechanism could be a way to explain this. And as I mentioned before, and I reiterated many times, what about this process? Well, we can look at the same figures. We have before the ingestion, the abundance of this process elements. We have during the ingestion, with hydrogen abundance, we see an increase in the neutron density, which show us, and it's also seen in the abundances of process elements. We see an increase in this process alongside the creation of lithium. And but again, after the ingestion ends and the main flash ends, we aren't breaking up those elements, so we're still at the same point. But again, this shows that we have produced lithium alongside these process elements. So that's basically the state of the project. We still need a lot more modeling to fully understand this, but just the main conclusion here that I want you to take home is that observational evidence shows that the helium flash could be an explanation to the lithium rich phenomena. There are similar events to the flash, like proton ingestion in very metal pulsars and in very late thermal forces that have shown to produce lithium. In our early results, we have shown that this ingestion at higher metallicities can produce lithium and its process, but here's the main problem. Observations don't show that these rich giants have largely enhanced process abundances. So again, this isn't like the magic bullet to the problem. There's still more work to be done, but again, because the observations don't rule out necessarily that there is process being produced, as shown in a previous plot, but it isn't noticeable that the lithium rich giants are process enhanced. So that's basically it. The hypothesis could be a way to explain it, but it isn't necessarily the clear answer here. So yeah, that's it. Thank you, and I'm open to questions.
Simon, oh, right. You can't hear. Simon, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yep, testing. Thanks. Thanks for the talk. Another thing that proton ingestion episodes do is increase carbon, usually by quite a lot. So you would expect also to see heaps of carbon along with the lithium and the S process. And I don't think that's observed, right?
I don't really know, but it would be also an interesting thing to compare. So should put the carbon abundances and see if they change. So yeah, it's an interesting thing to take into account also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he's asking if for secondary comp stars, so higher mass stars, we would expect to see lithium enhancement. And I think here the thing here is that from this, I don't want to go back the whole presentation, but from the Malik slide, they show that most lithium rich stars are low mass stars. So this could help us explain hopefully the large majority of lithium rich stars. But again, as mentioned by Professor Campbell, likely there are many mechanisms at play. So those higher mass stars that are also lithium enhanced could be other mechanism before during the RGB ascent or some external mechanism that could explain the evolution. So this doesn't necessarily rule out other hypotheses. So it could be a mixed, many mechanisms at play at once that could help us explain the whole problem.